From the boggy marshlands many miles north, a river tribe known as Calientes had been blown many miles off course, for the small creeks where they hunted mollusks and trout had frozen over. They had planned to explore a neighboring river for sharks and clownfish, but the unforeseen blizzard caused their wind sails to take them much further south than they had planned. Now lost in a strange land, they look for food, shelter, and other Sims. But will these Sims be accepted by the existing tribes? Or will the constant fighting of our locals scare them off? Hello and welcome back to Sim Civilization, or if this is your first time, welcome. We're just going to jump right into it. So Stronarm here is the head of the Caliente tribe. He is just over here meeting Drogar. If you were here last time, Drogar just became a young adult. This is quite an exciting day for Drogar, because Drogar has never met anyone he's not related to. So he's meeting his first friend. He's like, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Don't even worry. We have a slot next to our camp. You can stay there. We've got plenty of fish. This place is very fertile. The river hasn't frozen. Much shark, much crocodile. You are in a really good place. So don't worry. You have made it here and you are safe now. And so Sean was really happy. He's like, thank you so much. You are so welcoming. Your hospitality is so great. But how terrible is this never-ending winter? And honestly, he's like, Shaka, bro, you're right. You're right, it's terrible. And that's when Sean said, you do know why winter is here, right? And Drogar's like, well, obviously just the weather. Oh, God. Do you know what God is, Drogar? And Drogar has never heard of religion. There's never been religion in a day in his life. No, they don't believe in anything. And he's like, gather round as I tell you the story of the God of winter, the reason why everything is frozen. And so the story goes. High on Mount Olympus lived a goddess. She was the beginning and end of all, controller of the weather, seasons, and time. One god to rule them all, and her name was Desimla. But on this mountain resided a mortal servant, Dominus, who she favored greatly, and who she loved dearly. But her beloved loved another, one by the name of Cleosimtra, and in turn, she loved him back. But all could not stay hidden for long. For Desimla, with her knowledge of all things, soon discovered the pair. Desimla, not one to be humiliated by a mortal, plotted her revenge. If she could not have the mortal, he would feel the full breath of the ice of her heart. She would change the weather. And not one, but all mortals would suffer for his deeds. Dominus stood out in the night, banished from her temple. He felt the cool of the night change, but he did not know why. For the first time, snow fell from the sky. Crops died and ponds turned to ice. Left out in the elements, Dominus succumbed to the cold. Yet in his passing, Dominus transcended beyond the grasp of Desimla, to the abyss where death's favorite children go. And when she realized his mortal soul had gone to the great abyss, where death is both favorable and kind, she was made to face the reality that her love was gone forever. But another wept, for Cleosimtra too had heard the passing of Dominus. Desimla knew that Cleosimtra was mortal, which meant one day she would die and be reunited with Dominus. So she planned to curse the girl and make her immortal, to make her a demigod. And Cleosimtra wept, for she could no longer be with Dominus, and part of her curse meant she would have to hide from the sun and drink the blood of mortals. But Cleosimtra would not do that, so that left her but one option. Upon the grave of her beloved, she walked into the sun and passed. But what Desimla did not prepare for was through Cleosimtra's act of selflessness, Cleosimtra's curse was sent back to Desimla, and Desimla was placed into a deep slumber, unable to reverse the curse of winter. And that is their religion. I kind of thought a lot about how I wanted religion to work in this game. Because you have to remember, like, mythology was such a huge part of our life. Like, if you look at anything historically, like, religion was the bedrock of most of human history. So I wanted something different. I wasn't sure if I wanted them worshipping me. That felt a little narcissistic. So I thought, let's go with a heavy mythology. If you read a lot of Greek mythology, a lot of Sumerian mythology, it really goes over the basis of the gods scorned at humans. Like there's so much, like the flood myth that we hear so much in Noah is actually a Sumerian myth, and it's based off the concept the gods are very, very displeased with humans. So I wanted to really bring that into the game. Now something is going on here. Something is going on. We're back on the Caliente lot. They are getting robbed, but their amazing new best friends, the Caps and the Tharios, are here to save them. They saw a robbery going off on the neighboring lot lot, and Opal ran right over. Like, Opal is attacking that guy. Go Opal. This is some tribe building right here. Like if they're not best friends after this, I don't know what will do it. This is incredible. And now this random burglar is running into the freezing water. Goodbye. I hope you freeze. But back to what I was saying. I think mythology is such a bedrock of human history that I really, really want to incorporate into my game. So I am excited that the Sims now have a new religion. I kind of like that this was brought to them by another tribe. And back to that story, Shaunam is back here with Drogar. Drogar is really loving his new friend. He's like, this is so cool that we can hang out and pillow fight and just be best buds. Like he's never had a bro to hang out with, so he's just broing it up with Shaunam. And I think that's really, really good because I do want to see the little tribes built. And I think, he's already hates Pebbles. Like he hates Pebbles. He kind of gets along with his cousins, but he's not like super close with his cousins. I think, he's always kept his cousins at a distance because they're Pebbles kids. So it's not like he has a lot of friends. Like the only people he knows or the ones or he gets along with are the ones really on this lot. And if you look at it, he doesn't really have that great a relationship with anyone. But here's back to the story. Shaunam is going to Drogar. He's like, Drogar, we have to do something about this Daysima situation. She is in a deep coma, and the only way to end winter is if we build her a giant monument. And Drogar's like, I've never built anything in my life before. I stay intense, I fish, but I've never built anything. And Shaunam's like, we have to build a temple for her. If we build her a temple that is truly grand and truly beautiful, she will forgive mortals for the sins of Cleosimtra, and she will let us back to have summer. And Drogar's never experienced summer. He's like, that would be amazing. How do we start? And Shaunam's like, if you just follow me, we're gonna do it. So, which brings us to the next segment, and a new segment in the show. Picture this. Thousands of years ago, before cities, before metal tools, before the written language, humans were dragging multi-ton stones across the wilderness. But why? Why would prehistoric people spend years building massive stone monuments like Stonehenge? Well, it's bigger than just rocks. These structures were likely spiritual centers, places where people connected with gods, ancestors, death, and the cosmos itself. Some were carefully aligned with the rising sun or changing seasons, turning them into giant calendars to help the ancients communicate time and survive. But these monuments also reveal something deeper about humanity. To build them, people had to cooperate on a massive scale. Entire communities organized, labored, shared food, planned construction, and worked towards a common goal. In many ways, the monuments weren't just structures, they were proof that society itself was evolving. And stones mattered. Stone lasts. It survives generations. Building in stone may have symbolized permanence, a way of saying, we're here. Some archaeologists even believe religion and ritual became before civilization itself. Sites like Stonehenge suggest humans may have gathered for ceremonies first, only later developing farming and permanent settlements around these sacred places. So when we look at prehistoric stone monuments, we're not looking at ancient structures. We're looking at the moments humans became something larger than scattered tribes. We're kind of looking at the birth of civilization. Okay, so we're back, and the temple is actually built now. I like to imagine that the newcomers and the Caps and Lotharios, the Calientes, Caps, Lotharios, all got together and said, all right, let's build this together. And they just kind of in one afternoon dragged these rocks around. And maybe it wasn't one afternoon, maybe it was a couple days. But they've moved the rocks around and they have built their first religious site. So this is kind of, I view this as the step into civilization. They, from this moment, have always been very, very nomadic. There hasn't really been much about culture. They've been slowly inventing things as it goes. So Drogar's like, do you think the ceremony worked? And as the actual god of their lives, I can tell you, I have been appeased. If Daysima hasn't been appeased, boy, I have. So we're going to hop into options here, and we're going to change the weather. Now, I was thinking for the weather, I don't really want to give them winter, because I do feel like they are in Egypt. I don't think it's a very snowy country. But I do feel like having some colder months does make sense. So we will give them fall. I may revisit that later, but now it is official. The Ice Age is over. And to be honest, I'm excited for the Ice Age to be over. The Ice Age is cool, and I think the Ice Age was so important in our own history, and that it shaped humanity so deeply, and it was the foundation of us migrating, and the invention of clothing, and it really revolutionized tool building, but I'm happy for it to be over. Now, we are on to our next subject. Drogar is looking at these two lovely ladies. One is Luna, and one is Odd. And he is, as you know, he is a single, freshly young man. He is one day into being a young adult. So he is obviously thinking about a wife. Like, he's thinking about a wife, he is excited for a wife, he wants to start a family soon, you know, and it'd be exciting. I'm ready for Generation 4 to be built. I can't believe it, but we are already on Gen 3. So I am ready to, now that these kids, like Ivor is also 1 day away from being a young adult, so we are getting to the age where they are going to start having babies. That's me crazy. And I'm excited for Gen 4 because I think it will also give so much more life. Like, I'm not going to say what it is now because I don't want to ruin the surprise, but for those of you, if this is your first time watching, with the birth of every new generation, they do unlock new things. They unlock new skills, they unlock new technologies, they unlock new industries, and that's going to happen from now until the very end of their civilization. With every birth of every new generation, they will unlock new things. So with the birth of this next generation, it will start unlocking a lot more stuff. And that's why I think it's so crucial that he starts finding a wife. So this is Luna, and he seems to like her. Like, they're getting along, they're gossiping, they're having a good little joke. Like, it seems good. Like, he only really has 2 women to choose from. So all things are going well in this relationship. But he is heading back to his camp. So he's met them, he's built a big temple. It's been a big day for him. Like, he's discovered religion. It's been a really big day for him. So he's gonna get some Z's, he's gonna get some sleep. And hopefully we will, in the next few days, start to see spring roll over. This is back to Satil. We haven't seen Satil in a while. What's Satil doing? Satil is having some fresh crocodile. Food is running a little low, so they'll probably have to go fishing soon. And she is just, her son is coming out of the tent. They're having a nice morning breakfast together, which is very nice. Get them some food, get them all fed for the day, and then they can start running errands and chores, which again, their errands and chores is literally just fishing. Ivor, oh, Grandma's here. I love that Grandma pops in from time to time. Grandma is having a quick bite. She doesn't have any inventory, so it was where the ghosts can eat, actually. That's kind of funny. So Grandma is having a quick bite to eat, which I do inherently like. Everyone's eating, which is good. Their faces always crack me up when they have to eat something they don't like from over the fire. Here's what's bugging me. Some of them hate ghosts. Like, look at Goat. Goat is like, ooh, gross, not Grandma. What? We have so much in common. I'd love to get you know you better. That's his stepmom. That's his sort of stepmom. She changed his diapers. She taught him to walk. She fed him as a baby. She is much older than him. Oh no, stepmom has a hots for him. Jesus. What's the relationship? Okay, they're distant friends. It makes sense. She kind of killed his dad. So it does make sense that they're distant friends. They were friends at one point, but the relationship is strained. But it looks like he's trying to build it. And it also looks like he's very attracted to her, so... Oh dear, that just feels like some sort of massive, even in the cave era, that feels like a massive social faux pas to sleep with your stepmom. But he's gonna build up his relationship with her. And I think he should probably, so much to decide. You know what, for now, they'll just be friends, and they can just have a silent crush on each other, and it will be a forbidden type of love. That marrying your stepmom is probably not cool. So he's back on the lot, and he is giving Luna the stink eye. What the hell? 1 second they were super happy yesterday, and now he's a grumpy sim though. He is a grumpy sim. Like, he will fight anyone, he'll complain about anything. He's inherently not always that nice to anyone. He's just got a bad attitude sometimes. It's not entirely his fault. Like, he's a cool sim, he's got tons of survival traits, but he does have kind of a mopey attitude. Now this is odd. I do feel like, you know, he can play the field a little bit. He's trying to find his mate. So they're having a quick pillow fight. You know, if it doesn't work out with Luna, maybe him and Odd could have a relationship. Again, there's only 2 women to really choose from at this point in time, so he's going to have to make a decision, but they seem to get along pretty well. Oh, but Luna is now jealous. Like, Luna's coming up like, what is your deal? Like, yesterday you were talking to me, you were all over me, you cared about me, you want to hang out with me, and now you're just coming and flirting with my clanmate? Like, what is your deal, bro? So he's got the ick from her, and I think she's got the ick from him, so I don't think that's going to go anywhere. So he's gonna start talking to Odd and have a chat with her and just see where that's going. He's just a mopey little guy, but it seems like she has a good sense of humor, so that's good. It's always good to have a good sense of humor because you can build up relationships with them pretty fast just by being funny. So he seems to like her. They're still acquaintances. She finds him amusing. He's definitely seems to be an engaging storyteller. She's like, oh my god, so cool that you are like the eldest son and that you built your first temple. Like, we build temples back home all the time. And he's like, you're awesome. What's your sign? And she is, what are their signs? I believe they are compatible. Let's have a look. Are they compatible? Yes, they're compatible. This is awesome. I love that they don't have religion or agriculture or housing or anything, but they do have astrology, and I think that says something about human nature. I feel like that's correct. I do feel like astrology probably predated everything that we've ever known. So they're getting along really well. They're holding hands, they're flirting. They definitely seem to like each other. So I think this is very promising. I think he may have found a prospective future wife, which would be very, very cool for him, and it'd be very cool for a little civilization, as I would love to start working on Gen 4 in the next stage of the cave era. Like we are eventually trying to crawl our way out of the cave era, and the only way we can do that is with more and more generations. So I think he is going to try to kiss her. Can he kiss her? A little kiss? Ooh, nope. She's like, hey, I like you. I don't know you that well yet. You've only really built one temple. It takes 2 to kiss me. All right. But we are back on the home lot, and it's Ivor's birthday. So we are gonna have 2 adults in the house, which I think is really cool. It is time. This generation went by so fast. It feels fast, but it doesn't feel fast. It's crazy. I feel like a proud mama. I'm like, oh, my sim babies are now adults. Now they can start causing all the havoc in the world. All right, what trait did she get? Oh yes, we have a sim adult. Oh, she loves the outdoors. That's like the best trait you can get. All right. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like this sort of content, please like and subscribe. I upload every Friday, and we are building a little civilization, so if you want to see that get built, please give us some support. Have a good rest of your afternoon. Susu!